Welcome back to the Barley Lads. If you've been enjoying our content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Today, we're drinking Buffalo Trace. This is Buffalo Trace. It's a Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey from the Buffalo Trace Distillery, Franklin County, Kentucky. 45% or 90 proof. It's a non-age statement, but Buffalo Trace says it's aged at least 8 years. Price-wise, you should be able to get this between $30 and $40. This is Buffalo Trace's mash bill number 1, believed to be under 10% rye. So this is the namesake of the Buffalo Trace Distillery. They claim to be the oldest continuously run distillery in the U.S., but the Guinness Book of Records has it as the Burke's Distillery, starting in I think 1805. Distilling on this site, though, by the Lee brothers started around the 1775 year, but the first distillery didn't actually open on the site until 1812, and that was opened by the Blanton family of Blanton's fame. It's changed hands over the years many times. In 1870, it was purchased by Edmund Taylor, or Colonel E.H. Taylor, and eventually it was sold to George T. Stagg, where he actually finally gave the distillery a name. It was OFC, or Old Fire Copper Distillery, along with the Old Oscar Pepper Distillery, which he then ended up selling to another family, and the Old Oscar Pepper Distillery is now owned by Brown-Forman, and it is where they produce all of the Woodford Reserve whiskeys. So if all of that isn't confusing enough, the distillery has again changed names in the 20th century. At one point, it was called the Ancient Age Distillery throughout, I think, the 40s and 50s, when it was owned by I think the company's called Age International. And eventually it was purchased by Sazerac in 1992. And they changed the name shortly after this bottle was released in 1999. They changed the name to what it is now known as today as the Buffalo Trace Distillery. Buffalo Trace refers to an ancient buffalo crossing on the Kentucky River in Franklin County, near where the distillery is located today. Buffalo Trace produces some of the more hard to find allocated bourbons on the market, from Blantons to all the other names that I just talked about with E.H. Taylor and George T. Stagg, Stagg Jr., the Antique series that they release. All of those are coming from Buffalo Trace in limited quantities, and this is probably the easiest bottle to find that they produce, other than maybe the Ancient Age, which is real cheap bottom shelf bourbon. So this is going to be a classic bourbon with classic notes, just at 45%. Not a lot of heat on this. Vanilla. Not a lot of burn, like I said. Almost a mint quality, probably, from the rye. Again, though, a low rye mash bill, higher corn content. Yeah, it's a basic bourbon. You get some brown sugar, almost like a molasses quality. I'd say a medium finish. Almost like a leathery tobacco quality to it. You definitely get some oak influence. Some of the wood tannins come through. Yeah. If you're looking to just get a bottle from the Buffalo Trace Distillery, this is a good starting option. Like I said, Ancient Age, that's going to be a different mash bill. It's going to be their high rye mash bill. Still not high rye. It's still only believed to be 13 to 15%. This, I think, is under 10. So we're not talking 20+% here, so it's not going to be a big rye heavy spice content, but it's a good classic bourbon. Even though it's only been on the market for 20 years, people think that it's been around forever. But yeah, it's a solid bourbon that you can drink neat on the rocks or in a cocktail, and you can enjoy it. So thanks again for watching another episode of the Barley Lads. Today we've been drinking Buffalo Trace Bourbon. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Cheers.